and playbooks will be put to the test. It's the Ravens and the Commanders.
It's the Battle of the Beltway. Baltimore and Washington are underway. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Commanders' offense set to go to work, and they're led by the veteran who's bounced around a bit in season number 8 now. It's Jacoby Brissett.
Spent the early years of his career bouncing between starter and backup as needed, and played well, but never had a team fully commit to him as their guy. He does retain the toolbox that made him projectable as a starter. Big, strong player with a powerful arm, deceptively mobile, and tough to tackle. The best part about his game, leadership and being a great teammate. Well, give him credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stop the run, and then executed.
Brissett. Short throw here to the tight end Bates. So the completion good for just 3. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 3rd down, Brissett. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll move the chains.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost...
And he's going to go down again. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Now make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow him.
Under pressure, they got him again. Quentin Williams, the offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. This is taken at the 15. All told, that a 55-yard punt with a net of 40 after the return. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
All the talk of Jackson leaving the Ravens this offseason was just that, talk, as the two sides hammered out a deal that made the highest paid player in the NFL. And why would they want to separate? When he has the ball in his hands, great things typically happen.
They run with a second-year man. It's Kenneth Walker. Down the right sideline, and he will work his way out of bounds here at the 25-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 45 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. DK Metcalf. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Ravens put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. First down, Brissett. And his throw is incomplete.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for? What
you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that, because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run. Probing now early to try and get things done later. Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it... Still a massive return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Ken Walker scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. And the Washington offense going back to work. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Quentin Williams able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out, because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball.
And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. He returns the punt 60 yards as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
And can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it second down and 12. From the gun, here's Brissett. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big third down coming up.
The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third down and 12. Throwing, Brissett. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. I mean, what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
And it's wide right. No good. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And able to get this out to the 25. Now the Commanders' offense set to take over. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. After the interception, here's Jackson. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Oh, I don't know if he's sensing contact to come or what, but that's a ball he'd love to have back. That could have gone for big yardage, but it just didn't want to stay in his hands. That's a tough break.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Kyle Pitts, 47 yards. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Point after try forthcoming. And it's wide right. No good. Out out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Things, unfortunately, continuing to implode here. The interception he threw on the previous drive, of course, led to the touchdown. And that deficit widening a little bit further. 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this 2nd quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw is Brissett. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
Taken at about the 16. The danger of a punt that good? A 16-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just about...
There he goes, left side. Down the left sideline. Touchdown. Chigakakwo. 68 yards. And the Ravens extend their lead yet again. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
They'll try and run it here. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Fielded at about the 28. And they can't bring him down. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Kyle Pitts ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Ravens just continue to roll. And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Stays on his feet. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And the Washington offense heading out. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he stopped immediately there. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. That now brings up a very interesting identical situation on 3rd down.
Yeah, people couldn't see us on camera, but I love how you motioned to me like, throw the ball. This is a great shot to take it, 2nd and short. Maybe take a big shot downfield. Instead, they ran it. Didn't work out for them very well. They should have listened to you, partner.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Brissett. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Brissett. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Rashawn Gary, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Robinson. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. We'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. It's taken to the 26. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Hey, Alpha, sit hot.
Play action. It's Jackson. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. They go play action now. Jackson, he'll buy some time right. Past the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast. Well, look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the third quarter. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Ravens.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
And oh, it's wide right. No good. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. Johnson on poke 3. Football's out. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Elijah Higgins from 21 yards away. And the Ravens are pouring it on.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
And oh, it's wide right. No good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Again, it's A-Chain. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. He was a third-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the first round, late in the first round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group gets...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Devon A-Chain with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Ravens get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Howell. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
Here's Austin. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. Big strides, look at him go. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Chigakakwo. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens have got it on cruise control.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Washington offense set to take over. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And Howe will throw it. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Al now to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Incredible, from goal line to goal line. Officially, it is a 100-yard punt return. And the Ravens extend their lead yet again.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. And oh, this is no good. Not even close, really. Way off the mark, and our score stays right where it is. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This taken in at the goal line. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's Gibson to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now Howell. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On third down, here's Gibson. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Ravens ready to take over. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure
touchdown. Chigakakwo, 69 yards. And the Ravens are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he's not going to make it to the goal line. They've been perfect on the night in 2-point conversions, but not here, as this time they come up empty. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Second down, Howell back to pass. Quick slant to Brown. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now Austin. And he's loose again. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Talk about flipping the script. That punt return 86 yards. And the Ravens add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Danny Johnson returning. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board. Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch it.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And taken right at the 35. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out with it.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Devon Achane, 55 yards. And the Ravens just continue to roll.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he returns this to the 22.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's working.
Well, the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Talk about two sides of the ball across purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Third and long, here's Howell.
And the pressure gets to him again. Rashawn Gary in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens.
Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokesters...
Oh, wide open, complete.
Now he's loose down the left sideline.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2.
Willis will try and throw for this.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, This is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes has a way of catching up with you.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he is going to be stopped up at the line of scrimmage. And we'll have a stoppage as well as we have reached the 2-minute warning. So it's Commanders football as we get back to it. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. Here's Tressway now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he fields it cleanly. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Well, CD, we are witnessing something that I never thought that I would witness. I would imagine you never thought this, too. I mean, we have a team taking the field in an NFL game, and they are up by triple digits. I mean, 50 is a lot, but to get to over 100, this is just crazy.
We've seen in the history of the game of basketball a few people score 100 points individually, men and women. But we've never seen this before in NFL history. We've only seen 2 teams combine for 100 points in a game 5 times in league history. One of the greatest games ever played. Well, by one of the teams anyway.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one. A give up the middle to A-Chain. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Second down throw coming by Willis. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.